seller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychological black on firm, but we ain't all black.
I'm muted. Here we go. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter. And this is the Grow Your Money podcast where we talk about how to grow your money and not blow your money. Because if you blow your money, it ain't a damn thing funny. Listen, today we're going to talk about foreclosures, some top foreclosure markets across the country and how you can make money from it. Because at the end of the day, it's to bring awareness, but it's also how you can benefit from it. So as you come in, listen, this is Money Monday. What is Money Monday? Money Monday is when we talk about all things that are going to benefit you some way financially. So we want to talk about the finances and how this affects you in the Black community. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to all the people who watch me every single day, who come live with me every single day. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you choose to be here with me today. So I just want to give you a shout out. And so in the comments, please put where you're watching from in the comments. So I see you, Mr. Booker from Fort Worth, Texas. What's that? And I see you, lovely JR from Seattle, Washington. I see you, Sophia, Miss Sophia from Stockton, California. What's happening? So for all of the rest of you guys, go tell your friends. Tell your friends Constance Carter is in, because listen, I'm not going to be coming in. This is like the last day this week that I'm going to be here. I'm only going to be here today. Tomorrow is remember I was doing I do the gym masterclass on Tuesdays, but I'm not doing it this Tuesday because this is holiday week, and so I need to get some time off so I can go cook. All right, and then Wednesday, y'all, I have a news interview on Wednesday, so I won't be live on Wednesday with April as always, because I have actually somebody asked me from the news station, asked me to be on the news to talk about my situation that I had with this deed theft issue that's going on, and it's going around the country. And oh, by the way, I've gotten a lot of DMs about deed theft, and there's a lot of victims. So if you know of anybody who's experienced any type of deed theft or any type of foreclosure theft or HOA theft or anything like that, have them shoot me an email at constance@constancecarter.com, because we want to make sure that we are advocating for people that don't know how to advocate for themselves. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this, is to bring awareness and to advocate for people who don't know how to advocate for themselves. Oh, I got the wrong banners up. So I want to give you my email address. If you know of anybody who's been a victim of any type of deed theft or foreclosure, illegal foreclosure practices or anything like that, have them send me an email at constance@constancecarter.com, or they can DM me on anywhere. I am Constance Carter. See, I am Constance Carter. So in any case, for all of those who are brand new, if this is your first time watching me, please put in the comments where you're watching from, because here's how this works. This is a dialogue and not a monologue. What does that mean? It means I want you to talk back to me and talk Black to me. What does that mean? That means that the way this works is that we interact. That's the reason why I go live. So this is not like just me just talking to you about some shit. This is us talking together and engaging. And so I love to have, conversations. I want you to talk back to me. I want to be able to respond to you live when we live. So that's the reason why I do this. So tell your friends, that I'm live, and go ahead and share this out, because this is information that I think a lot of people need to know. So if this is your first time watching, please put in the comments that this is your first time watching, and then where you're watching from. All right. And then let me make sure everybody's on here. Okay, cool. And then if you are a Black owned business, or a Black owned business, I want you to put the Black owned business in the comments. Why? Is because it's imperative that we support Black owned businesses. There was an article in Forbes magazine that said by the year 2017, Black median wealth was going to be at 0. So it's imperative that we support our Black owned businesses so that we can make sure that we are not in the negative, that we are not going to 0, that we are actually being successful and we are rising. All right. Marion, thank you. Say you're the best and you deserve it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you are too. Back at you. But before we start, I did a couple of, let me tell you, when I be sitting in my bed in the morning, sometimes I think about a lot of things that really affect us as Black people. And I come up with these things just about, racism and just being Black in America. And there's a couple of videos that I just want to show you if you haven't seen them. There's one about, did I already show y'all that one? Maybe I showed it to you last week, but let me show it. Where is it? Why are Black people the most hated? Oh, no, I showed y'all that last week. So I do want to show you how the video that I was thinking about the other day, or the thought I had the other day about why racism equals mental illness. White supremacy plus racism equals mental illness. And so I want to show you this video that I did on that, because this is definitely something that affects us. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, here we go, right here. Share screen. There we go. Share screen. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh, what just happened? Okay, let me show y'all. White supremacy. We're not just talking about, when we look at racism and white supremacy, we're not just talking about hatred or ignorance. We're talking about a deep psychological sickness that has been normalized, institutionalized, and passed down like a generational curse. Because think about it.
Here we go.
What kind of mind sees another human being, and just being Black in America, whole creation of God, and believes they are, and just being Black in America, superior? When we look at racism and white supremacy, we're not just talking about hatred or ignorance. We're talking about a deep psychological sickness that has been normalized, institutionalized, and passed down like a generational curse. Because think about it. What kind of mind sees another human being, a whole creation of God, and believes they are superior because of the amount of melanin in their skin? What kind of psyche dedicates centuries to building systems, laws, religions, and economies to justify hurting, stealing from, and traumatizing an entire group of people? It's not normal thinking. That is pathology. Racism ain't rooted in strength. It's rooted in fear. Fear of equality, fear of accountability, fear of losing power, fear that if we thrive, they lose control. That fear creates delusion, and delusion creates violence. That is textbook mental instability, y'all. White supremacy required a mass delusion so strong that it convinced a whole society that kidnapping, raping, selling, and lynching human beings was not only acceptable, but moral. Now, that requires cognitive distortion. That requires disassociation from reality. That requires a lack of empathy. All of that is symptomatic of a collective psychological illness. And here's the real truth. The harm that they inflicted on Black people for generations was a mirror of the harm already living inside of them. Because mentally, whole people don't create oppression. Confident people don't need control. Emotionally healthy people don't need domination. Only a sick mind needs to convince itself that others must suffer for it to feel superior. But let me flip this. The miracle is, even though this sickness tried to break us, we never broke. We built families and churches, businesses, culture, music, art, and innovation that shaped the entire world. That is the sign of a healed mind, a resilient mind, a divine mind. The real mental illness is racism. The real strength is the Black mind that survived. And that's why we tell our stories. That's why we honor our ancestors. And that's why we remember our history. Because understanding the sickness helps us stop internalizing it and start uprooting it at its root. Because we are the descendants of greatness. We know that. And the world tries to study our trauma, but they never acknowledge our triumph. And every day that we wake up, we're breaking generational curses, y'all. Generational curses that we didn't even create. And we are the evidence that even in the face of all of this madness, we're still excellent. Now drop a Black fist in the Sorry. Um, so it's funny because the comments that I get on these posts, as I'm thinking about why are Black people the most hated people in the world, and just the mental illness of racism, and the comments that I get from our white brethren and sisterin, um, they talk about because we're fecal matter, somebody said, or look at social media and look at the news, and that'll tell you why we hate you so much. Um, it's just a lot of folks on here that are basically revealing who they are. So I just always want you to be aware, not so that you could hate anybody, because hating people doesn't get you anywhere, but just know that there are people that you think are your friends, and they're not your friends. Everybody is not your friend, and they don't want the best for you. So just always keep your head on a swivel when you're out and about, because you think people ain't hating on you, think people are not trying to destroy you, and they actually have systems designed, because they're so mad that they've had a 500 or 400-year head start, and yet here they are mediocre, and you are still resilient people in spite of everything that's been thrown your way. So I just have these thoughts in my mind that I'd like to share with people on, just, I believe racism is a mental illness. I don't believe that Black people are superior to anybody either. I believe that we're all the same. It's a melanin content. I believe that all people are created equal. However, there are people out there that are literally trying to destroy Black people, and I just like to speak out about it. So that's just something that I wanted to share with you. Just a thought in my mind. What are your thoughts? Why do you think that? Why do you think that Black people are the most hated people in the world, and/or do you believe that white supremacy is and racism is a mental illness? Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Yes, we are the most beautiful, brilliant, powerful, thoughtful, intuitive, caring, resilient, amazing people on the planet, baby. Yes, I agree. I agree. So I always want to big up us and just talk about our brilliance and our resilience, because we are a special chosen people. But I want to go ahead and talk about the foreclosures, because there are some rising foreclosures across America, and most people have no idea what's really happening. So I want to break down the top foreclosure hotspots across the country, and why these areas are being hit the hardest, and what it means for homeowners and investors who are trying to build wealth in 2025. Because again, remember, it's all about us building wealth, us investing, us growing our money, and not blowing our money, because when we blow our money, it ain't a damn thing funny. All right. So we're going to talk about industries and income gaps, insurance spikes, interest rate spikes, and cities where Black communities are feeling the impact the most. Okay. And more importantly, I want to give you the game on how to protect your home and position yourself and to tap into the opportunities right away. Okay. So because here's the thing, if you understand the market and you move with strategy instead of fear, because that's the thing, is we have all this fear. Warren Buffett said something so poignant. He said that smart people buy when everybody's selling this, and dumb people sell when everybody's buying, right? So no, basically sell when people are buying and buy when people are selling. So in times like this, where people are saying, hey, I gotta wait, I want to, I don't want to buy right now because of the interest rates or whatever, now is actually the time to buy. So, but the truth is, because of everything that's going on with this administration and this economy, and we know that we're looking at a recession, that we are in a market shift, and shifts always reveal like who's been paying attention. And the thing about it is, we can't be the ones that are sleepwalking right now. All right. The foreclosures the activity has gone up month after month after month. And it's not because the sky is falling, but it's because of affordability. It's because of the interest rates. It's because of the insurance. I don't know if you know what happened in California a few months ago, but there was a huge fire. Now it's almost impossible to get insurance in different places in California. It's almost impossible because the insurance companies had to pay out all of that money on those fires. And even in Florida with the HOAs and that big building that collapsed out there. Okay. And so it's all of these things are putting pressure on the homeowners, especially first time home buyers, especially FHA borrowers, which is mostly going to be us. When you look at Black home buyers, the bucket that we are in is going to be your FHA first time home buyer low down payment loan. And this is why it matters, because if you know what's happening and you know where it's happening, you can prepare and protect your property, but you could also profit from the opportunities that are available to us. I don't know if you know, but with Donald Trump, getting rid of 300,000 Black women, but he's also disabling the farmers. Farmers are losing their farms. A lot of people are losing their money. They're losing a lot because of what's going on in this administration. And so we're seeing a lot of activity in Florida, in South Carolina, in Illinois, in Ohio, in Texas, Nevada, and California, and New Jersey. But let me break it down the way you need it, okay? Because these states have cities where foreclosures are rising because of the industry stability. The insurance spikes, the wage stagnation, the rising property taxes, that also is affected. And then like the tourist-based income, people ain't traveling in the way that they used to because of what's going on with this administration. It's a lot that's happening that we simply just are not aware of. And so, but a lot that's happening that's actually affected what's happening with the market. All right. So Florida, for example, is like there's a perfect storm going on out in Florida. The insurance premiums are skyrocketing. Wages aren't keeping up. And people who bought in like 2021 and 2023 at higher prices, they're struggling to maintain their properties. In South Carolina, the growth outpaced the income and it caused payment stress. So in Illinois and Ohio, they're dealing with older housing stock and high prices, higher property taxes. Out in Nevada and California, they're sensitive to more of the tourism swings. You have Las Vegas and you have California, a lot of tourists. But you know, when things are happening with the administration, things slow down. And it seems like Donald Trump doesn't seem to know how the economy works, because it seems like he's doing everything in his power to destroy our economy, to destroy jobs while enriching himself. Texas, now they are pro Donald Trump, but they are facing like layoffs in industries that they never faced before. So what's happening is these trends are telling the story. And if you know how to read it, if you can see what's coming, then you can see what's coming before everybody else. So let's look at the industries that are like really driving the stress in these markets. So like in California, in Vegas, in Orlando, Myrtle Beach, all those places have tourism. So when tourism slows down, you have your income that's slowing down. All right. In Illinois, in Ohio, and South Carolina, those are manufacturing hubs. Well, what's been happening when production dips? What's been happening when they're sending jobs overseas, or they're stopping production, or we have these high tariffs that can't keep up, and now we're losing jobs. Now these manufacturing companies are cutting the jobs because of tariffs, because they can't keep up. Okay. And then in Florida and Texas and the Inland Empire in California, they have seasonal swings with like logistics and warehouse corridors, right? In Texas, you also have the oil price shifts. So you have those energy markets over there. And then like, especially in the agricultural regions, they really are struggling right now because their workers are being detained by ICE. So this, again, how is this administration really trying to support the economy? It's not. So the thing about it is, let's talk about where we're most affected. Okay, so here's some top metro areas where Black folks are most affected, where we're seeing a lot of foreclosure activity, where they have like strong Black populations. You got Jacksonville, Florida. You got Tampa, Florida. You got Orlando, Florida. You have Lakeland, Winter Haven, Florida. You have Columbia, South Carolina. Charleston, South Carolina, excuse me. Chicago, Illinois. Cleveland, Ohio. Houston, Texas. Killeen, Texas. These are places where Black families, they live, they work, they invest, which means Black folks need to be informed and not intimidated by what's going on, because if they're aware, then they can be prepared. Ooh, drop the mic. If they are aware, then they need to be prepared. So these foreclosures are rising because interest rates have gone up significantly, right? So we've seen in 2020 where interest rates were 2 and 3%. Oh my gosh, those were the days. I have an interest rate on a couple of my properties that are at 3%, but my interest rate on my current house is 7%. And this is a way higher house. Interest rates are up. Payments have gone up. Insurance, especially in Florida, especially in California, has become so unaffordable for so many homeowners. Inflation which your boy was supposed to be curbing inflation, but everything has gone up. I went to the store today, this morning, and I got some grapes. You know, them grapes cost like $11. So I guess all the grape pickers have been deported. I don't know what the hell's going on, but the inflation is crazy. The cost of beef is higher than it's ever been. Like, what in the world is really going on? And the thing about it is, a lot of the people who bought have these lower down payments, like your FHA home down payment folks, that they don't have the same cushion as everybody else. So when you have something that happens in the market like this, they're the ones that are hit the hardest. You know, I don't know if you know that people are one emergency fund away from default. Most people don't have a savings. Most people are living check to check. A lot of people are using their credit cards to keep afloat right now. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And it's not a moral failing. It's just economic pressure. When you understand how the money flows, you understand how the foreclosures flow. And it's not because people aren't working harder. It's not because they're not working smarter. It's because of everything that's going on with the administration. And you talk about the trickle down effect. That is the trickle down effect. What's happening, what we're seeing on the boots on the ground is the trickle down effect. But here's where you can benefit, okay? Because they don't have to be a loss. They actually can be an opportunity for those who have the right strategy, all right? So as you're seeing certain things starting to happen, start looking at some opportunities. Get your credit together. Get your lines of credit together. So if you have maybe you have an LLC and you can get some business credit real quick. Maybe that business credit is going to help you to put that down payment on a property that's really cheap. A foreclosure. Perhaps you can get a tax lien or a land bank. Well, these are one of the things that I'm teaching inside the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training. I do what's called the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training, where I'm teaching investors how to invest in real estate and how to take advantage of these markets. We're actually going to Augusta, Georgia at the later part of December. And we're looking at some opportunities to do some development. So we're only in, I think maybe in the third, maybe the fourth, our fourth meeting. So if you're interested in being a part of this B1 Real Estate Mastery, where I'm showing investors how to invest in these opportunities, holla at your girl, because we still have space inside and this is a 6-month cohort. I think we're on month 2, so we still have 4 more months to go. But if you are interested in the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training, go to b1realestatemastry.com, and I'm happy to have you inside our group, where we are practicing collective economics, where we are creating joint venture partnerships, where we are working together so that we can take advantage of times such as these. And if if this is not something that you want to do, inside the Grow Your Money Club, I do have a training like the Real Estate for Rookies that shows you how to become a real estate investor. And if you don't know what the B1 Real Estate Mastery is, if you don't know what the Grow Your Money Club is. While everybody else is out here blowing their money, you about to be growing your money. How? Inside the Grow Your Money Club, this is your one-stop wealth building training hub designed to help you build, grow, invest, and diversify your income. You have the credit bundle, which is going to help you to increase your credit IQ with business credit, personal credit, with the credit repair masterclass. And then you have the real estate bundle. This is where we're going to show you how to invest in tax deeds, land banks, how to buy a house separately from your spouse, the living trust ebook, and from campus cash flows, showing your children how to become real estate investors. In the investor bundle, you're going to learn how to invest using Robinhood, the investor success formula, and the wealth map 6-phase blueprint that shows you how to build, grow, and invest your money. And finally, the business builder bundle. This is where we show you how to establish your entity and build business credit, how to obtain government contracts, how to create jaw-dropping video content, how to write and publish your best-selling book, and even how to bring your idea to life. You can purchase each training a la carte, get the bundle that fits your goals, or unlock the 12-month roadmap, which is your full access pass to every single training inside the Grow Your Money Club. While they're spending, you stacking. While they're watching, you winning. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. So listen, I have training inside there that actually can teach you how to start investing. The Real Estate for Rookies has everything that you need, a robust training that's going to give you everything you need to start investing today. But if you want to be taught with me as your teacher and in a class full of people who are like-minded, who are practicing collective economics, who are trying to build something together, I have the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training along with Boyce Watkins and the Black Business School. inside that, which we would be happy to have you become part of our training. And all the trainings are recorded, so you can see the ones that we've already done, and then partake in the ones that we have now, because we are looking at investing in different areas together collectively as a unit. And as a result, so far, we have some of the folks who are already investing. We have Holly, who's already gotten some land from the land bank, who's going to be building a quad on it, and she's going to be, because they're in Augusta, they have a good amount of colleges, and they have new industries coming out there. So it's just a great opportunity, and I have some inside connections with the local land banks and folks in authority who are going to give us opportunities, priority opportunities for the B1 Real Estate Master Training. So if this is something that you're interested in, and you want to invest possibly together as a group, or you want to invest individually, go to b1realestatemastery.com, because I'm teaching the folks how to do that live, and I do that every other Tuesday. So you still have time to join us. But let me get back to how to get yourself ready. So get your financing together, get your credit right, get your credit tight. I already said inside the Grow Your Money Club, I have a credit bundle. Miss Sophia has gotten her credit score up 200 points just by going through there right now. She said she's going through the business blueprint training, which is showing her how to create her entity, and also how to get funding, how to get business credit and get business funding. So if you're interested in any of those things, I have the trainings for you. Okay. The other thing you need to do is build your team, like already be prepared, get your real estate agent, understand what distressed property is. And I talk about that inside either the Grow Your Money Club or inside the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training. But you need to have your team. You need to have your contractor, your property manager. You need to have your real estate agent, your real estate attorney. You want to know what's going on in certain areas. You want to be able to have your finger on the pulse. Okay. You also want to look at what's going on in those areas. So what industries out there, what's in demand? That's one of the things that I always teach people who are in my trainings. What is going on in those areas? You don't want to just arbitrarily buy property just in the area because it's cheap. You want to know what is up and coming. What's the growth? How are you able to analyze it? How are you able to analyze deals and see what the potential growth opportunities are? You want to make sure that you understand that, because you don't want to chase cheap. You want to chase strategy. Okay. And then if you have a cheap home without a plan, it could become an expensive mistake. So it's extremely important that you know exactly what you're doing when you're investing in these opportunities. And there's going to be tons of opportunities that continue to come up as we speak. So you got to protect yourself. If you're in a situation where you're purchasing an HOA, there's some things happening in Florida, some laws. I have actually proposed a law. In fact, many of you know the story of the man who tried to steal my home with deed theft. And so I actually have a book that I'm actually getting ready to release in a couple of months. It's called Taken. And it's going to be released on February 1st. But I'm talking about that very thing where taken without notice. And I really want to inform people and ring the alarm on deed theft, because it's a real thing. And Black people are losing their wealth because people are stealing their properties. Now, when I'm talking about you investing, I don't want you to be a part of those people who are stealing people's properties. That's absolutely not what we want to do. But there are opportunities out there that you can take advantage of without you having to steal somebody's property. But you have to be aware and you have to be informed, because then you could be on the other side. Somebody literally, I had 2 weeks ago, I was in court with, because somebody had falsely recorded an invalid deed on my house, thinking he was going to take my house. This is the same guy who had a thing with Kevin Spacey, and he's just a bully. He's just around there trying to take people's houses. And so what I've been doing now is I've already proposed legislation with a lot of the delegates and the folks in Senate, a lot of the politicians. I proposed legislation last week that I sent them to say, listen, HOA should not be able to foreclose on people, and people should not be losing their houses because of an HOA lien. And this one HOA, I was told that they foreclosed on a bunch of properties in the community for $1,700. Like 30 properties for $1,700. Now, for somebody, that's a windfall. That's great for them. But for those homeowners who worked hard for these properties and have, spent all this money building their equity, this is a very real thing that's happening to people. So I don't want you to be the folks that are on the side of taking advantage of people. I want you to be the people that are advocating, but you can still get good opportunities by just regular, tax deeds. The people just simply don't want properties. There are a lot of properties out there like that. You just have to know how to procure them. You got to have to know how to do it, and what you're looking for when you are doing it. And so that's the reason why I teach this inside the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training. So if you're interested, I do have the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training where you can join us, and discovering those things. So my next class is going to be next Tuesday, and I'm going to be talking about how to build your joint venture partnerships, how to vet your partner, how to create clauses to protect you, divorce clauses and things like that, to make sure that you're properly vetting people, but you also know how to write these contracts, and also know how to divorce the folks inside your for potential partners, how to make sure that you have the right partner, the solid partner, and how everyone, how the contribution that everyone needs to make inside these partnerships. So the other thing is protecting yourself, just really understanding, what's going on in those neighborhoods, and making sure that you have your title insurance. And like if you purchase a property, that say you purchase a property cash and you don't have any title insurance, that is a prime property that can get caught up in deed theft, which I really do not want you to do. So there's definitely things that you got to look out for as a homeowner as you are investing in these properties, especially when it comes to the foreclosures. You have areas like Cleveland and Baltimore where you buy properties for little of nothing, but you might be inheriting a problem because they might be liens that come along with that, hundreds of thousands of dollars in liens that now you got to address and you got to deal with because you didn't know anything about these areas. So you really got to study these areas before you go and try to invest in these areas. Okay. Oh, you said you're on chapter 9. So Booker said there's a lot of layoffs here, but he's sounding the alarm that we always have to have a backup plan. And that's what the important thing is. Ecclesiastes 11:2 said, have 7, no 8 revenue streams, because we never know when a disaster is going to strike. A disaster could be anything. A disaster for a lot of us was COVID in 2020. That was a disaster for a lot of people. A disaster for me was in 2022 when I went through a divorce and I had to let go a lot of my assets. A disaster for some can be a death or a job loss. So we have to make sure that we have multiple revenue streams. There's no way that I would be 3,000 miles away in a beautiful home had I, even though I had to give up, 7 figures, there's no way I would have been able to do that if I didn't have multiple revenue streams. So I want to teach you how to do that. And that's the reason why I have the Grow Your Money Club, is because I always want to teach us. And the Grow Your Money Club is for everybody, whether you're black, white, male, female, whatever. I always want to teach us how we can have multiple revenue streams and things that we can do, so that we are not caught holding the bag, so that we can take advantage of these opportunities, so that when these opportunities arise, we can be the right person in the right place at the right time. That is what I want for us Black folks, is I want us to be prepared for when these opportunities present itself. We are the right person in the right place at the right time. Back in 2008, I was one of the top foreclosure brokers in the country. And that's also a year before I filed bankruptcy. I filed bankruptcy in 2009, but I was selling like 300 properties a year. And as I was selling these properties, I couldn't even take advantage of them because I was not the right person in the right place at the right time. I had more month than money. I was making over $250,000 a year, but I was spending all of it. Every dollar that came in, it actually went back out. And so I said to myself that there's never going to be an opportunity that presented itself to me that I wasn't able to take advantage of. And so I want to make sure that you are prepared to be the right person in the right place at the right time. Craig says, what is that scripture in Ecclesiastes? It's 12 and 2, Ecclesiastes 12:2, no, 11:2, where it says have 7, Ecclesiastics, no 8 revenue streams, because you don't know when a disaster is going to strike. Is it 11:2 or 12:2? I think it's 12:2, but I want to say, yeah, it's actually 11:2. Let's see. Let me give you the exact scripture. And of course, different translations say differently, but invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8, you do not know what disaster may come upon the land. But different, of course, different translations say different, but that's basically, that's biblical. That's something that we should definitely want to do anyways, because we never want to get caught holding the bag. We never want to be without, so these are opportunities that we need to be taken advantage of. We want to be the lender and not the borrower. We don't want to be the debtor. We don't want to be the indebted. We want to be the person who's actually given the debt. We want to be the person that's in charge. We want to be the investor. Okay. So how do you get yourself prepared for that? Your credit is extremely important. You have to have good credit because you never know when you're going to have to use that credit as leverage to be able to purchase something else. Black people, we have a collective credit score, average credit score of 671, while everybody else is in the 700s. We're in the 600s. And so it's important that we collectively get our credit scores up so that we can be in position so that we can take advantage of situations. We shouldn't want to have bad credit. We got to have good credit. So that's why I have all these trainings online for you to help you to do that. So whatever there's a problem, I want to have some type of solution for us. Okay. So hopefully you guys have gotten some great information. But before I get out of here, I want to tell you about, tomorrow I'm not doing the gym masterclass. So I am doing it next week. And next week, we're going to talk all about REITs, real estate investment trusts. Do I have the flyer? Oh, I didn't put the flyer up. So next week, we're going to talk all about real estate investment trusts. I'm going to try to find it. Sheesh. Nope. Is that it? Real estate investment trust. No, that's not it. So next Tuesday, if you go to gymmasterclass.com, let me try to get this down while I'm doing this. But if you go to gymmasterclass.com, there it is. I'll be talking about how to invest in REITs. And so this is another way that you can invest in real estate without actually having properties, but you can get some pretty good dividends and be a real estate investor without having to, have the problems of having inventory. So current page. So let me just tell you, let me download that and let me just upload it real quick so that you can see. So if you are interested in taking this, these are absolutely free. There we go. So next Tuesday, our gym masterclass on Tuesday is going to be all about real estate investment trusts. How to invest in REITs, what are REITs, how to invest, what the risks are versus the reward, and how you can start investing in REITs with as low as $10. So that's December 2nd, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. And in order to be a part of that is you have to go to the gymmasterclass.com. And this is a free training. Now, if you don't attend this training live, then you won't be able to access it again. And it'll be a part of the Grow Your Money Club. And for whatever the cost is inside the Grow Your Money Club, it'll be a part of the Grow Your Money Club. So if you are interested in taking this training, this free training next Tuesday, it is go to gymmasterclass.com. Okay. And then finally, like for those of you who are interested, if you are a Black woman or you know a Black woman, check this out. In 2025, over 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs. And here's what blows my mind. This government had no idea what they were doing when they decided to release brilliance and excellence back into the streets. They thought they were taking our livelihoods. They thought they were crippling our families. But what they really did, they just unleashed the most educated demographic in America, Black women. We're the ones holding the degrees, the certifications, the credentials, and a lifetime of skills they can't take away from us. And they about to fuck around and find out. Because Black women, we don't crumble. We don't fold. Every rock that they throw at us, we use it to build the foundation for our next chapter. And mark my words, what they're going to see is new Black business owners launching brands that they can't ignore, new Black real estate investors building portfolios that will feed generations, new Black innovators creating solutions that shift industries, and new Black joint ventures pulling our brilliance and our dollars so that power stays with us. Because here's the truth, they may have underestimated us, but they didn't break us. They just freed us to work for ourselves instead of building somebody else's dream. What's coming next is a new Black wealth class, a class that owns more, earns more, and passes down more. A class that understands we are the CEOs of our own lives and the architects of our own future. So if you're one of those 300,000, this is your time. This is your moment.
That layoff was not the end, it was the launch. And the world's about to see exactly what happens when Black women stop asking for a seat at the table and start building the whole goddamn house. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear this gem.
So listen, y'all, I just want to tell you, for the Black women, I am starting the new cohort of the Net 7 Collective, which is going to be starting in January. So if you are a Black woman, or you know a Black woman who wants to be a part of a dynamic group of Black women from all over the country, you know what? Let me see. There was a text the other day. So we have a little text thread, and I seen a little love fest text the other day. Somebody said, I don't celebrate. This is Net 7. This is our little group text. I don't celebrate the holiday Thanksgiving for many reasons, but I do express gratitude. With that being said, I want to say, all of you ladies in this group, I appreciate, value, and I'm thankful that you all are in my life. It is such a sacred, peaceful, and special place to have sisters all over the United States where we can meet and talk and discuss anything and not be judged. I don't take any of your friendships lightly. I love you guys and appreciate this space. I thank God for choosing each of us specifically to affect each other for the needs we have that we may not have known we need. And I'm also thankful to Constance, who followed her vision, for being the vessel that God used to bring us together. So anyway, that's the type of sisterhood that we have inside the Net 7 Collective, is just a collaboration of Black women who have different disciplines, who have different areas of expertise. And then you have me, and I lead the space, but it's not just about me. The secret sauce is all the women, the network of women that you have inside one group. And so we're starting our new cohort up. If you join now, there is a discount on the investment. If you join in 2026, it's going to be a little bit different. So holler at me. Let's talk, and let's schedule some things to where we can talk about what that looks like for you. So go to net7collective.com, and I'm happy to have a conversation with you on maybe to see if this will be a right fit for you. You can go to net7collective.com, or you can go to constancecarter.com. And let's have a conversation. Because if you're a Black woman, or you know a Black woman that needs this, maybe they're the unicorn, maybe they're the only person in that circle that is just, that thinks bigger, who wants more, then this is the group that we are coaching, that I'm coaching, that is just making such huge impacts. Like, they're writing books, they're on stages, they've got new jobs, they added arms to their career, they're investing in real estate, they're investing in stock, they're increasing their net worth to 7 figures. And we're out here making a real difference. So if you are a Black woman, or you know a Black woman, have them holla at me. All right. I appreciate you. I'm gonna see y'all